Let's talk about muscle hypertrophy. Muscle hypertrophy is what most people want to get to, right? Most people want to get into the muscle building aspect of everything. That's what muscle hypertrophy is developing your muscle to a point where you can actually see the lean muscle. You can get that size you want. You get the shoulders you want. You get that 3D look on your shoulders. You want to get that bicep or that tricep or that chest or that back, right? But the very first thing when it comes to muscle hypertrophy is putting you on a program where we stabilize your muscle imbalances. One of the most important aspects of muscle hypertrophy is understanding that we need to put you on a routine that achieves a symmetrical aspect between your muscles first, and then we put you into the muscle building aspect of it. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who ego lift, and end up going to the gym, and they get hurt because they don't understand that they do have muscle imbalances that they need to uh, balance out so that we can overload the muscle. The way that we grow muscle is by tearing down the muscle. So we need to overload that muscle. And when there's muscle imbalances between different muscle groups, that leads to injuries. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to injure you. We want to tear your muscle, but we don't want to injure your ligaments and tendons because that's going to keep you away from the gym and that's going to slow your process into actually achieving the body you desire. All right. So once we lower the body fat, once we expose a little bit more of that muscle mass, and I say about 80% of people, once they lower their body fat, they already feel great about themselves because they see that lean muscle mass. Everyone has muscle mass underneath their body fat, but they just need to reduce that body fat. But if you're trying to achieve bigger muscle gains, if you have other goals, if you want to grow your chest, is what we call body sculpting or bodybuilding, right? When I go to the gym, I'll flex, I look at my body. Okay, I need to focus on this, I need to focus on that muscle group. I feel an imbalance on my left leg, on my right leg. So I have the knowledge and understanding how to balance out my body and then build my body out so it doesn't keep me away from the gym and I prevent any further injuries. Injuries are bound to happen, yes, but there's ways that we can prevent it, right? So one of the biggest things is incorporating some flexibility in there, incorporating assessing the muscle imbalances, also improving our cardiorespiratory training. That's why I have you warm up before any training. So in that way, when you get into the hypertrophy phase, you can overload it as much as possible. Um, and then it's just simply that. It's not making like complex routines. Most people think that you need to do complex routines, do boot camp training, stuff like that, and really just like beat yourself up at the gym. But if you just have a very steady routine and you progressively overload, let's say you start with 20 pounds doing curls, and we go to 25 pounds, then we go to 30 pounds. And between that span of when we go up, it's like every 2 weeks or every month or something like that. You're progressively overloading, you're becoming stronger, and at the same time, also creating that muscle hypertrophy leading to muscle gains or muscle growth, right? One of my favorite things to grow muscle at the gym is reps, getting as many reps in as possible. All it is, muscle hypertrophy is not about heavy weights. That's a myth. It's about breaking down the muscle. And I've gone with guys who are just lifting heavy and they're like, I was trying to get big. I'm like, can I show you an exercise? Okay, if you just do the same exercise with minimal weight and you just do it until failure, I promise you the next day you're going to be super sore and you're going to start seeing a progression and a growth in your muscle simply because you're adding more stress to the muscle. That's all it is. Adding more stress to the muscle, not doing different exercises, not changing your routine, just adding more stress to the muscle. If you're that's what we call chasing the pump, right? Do the same exercise. Don't change up your routine. Don't do anything crazy, and you're gonna learn along your journey that most exercises are the same, right? That the gym becomes very simple. Everything looks so crazy and so foreign, but once you get those basic exercises down, all it is tearing down the muscle through stress, and through that stress and the recovery period, you will develop that muscle mass. That's all it is. It's not about heavy weights, not about doing crazy exercises or changing your routine. Simply adding more reps in there to create more stress to your muscle and in turn growing more muscle mass.